Your AI girlfriend is a data harvesting horror show.
Yeah, but can you bang it?
What is wrong with you, me in a hat?
What? I'm just asking for a friend.
You mean you're asking for
A girlfriend?
Let's look at how surveillance capitalism is coming for your crotch, what we can do about it, and above all, what the world is coming to. Part 1. AI partners. Now look, it would be easy for me to take the piss out of anyone who wants to create an AI partner, so I am not going to do that. Even the businessmen say that it's going to become a billion-dollar comfort at the end of the day. You know, like soup, or creating a voodoo doll for your co-worker who always brings tuna sandwiches into the office. So clearly there's an element of loneliness in people who would even entertain these apps or devices. And look, we've all been there. My main two issues are, like origami, twofold. Firstly, it sets unrealistic expectations of relationships on society, and secondly, privacy. Oh, you didn't think this video was going to ignore the privacy stuff, did you? Privacy experts claim AI girlfriends are toxic and only use you for your data. But my AI girlfriend said that this article is bullshit and I shouldn't be listening to the mainstream media. And frankly, I don't want to sleep on the sofa in my VR living room, so I'm going to have to take her side on this one. As I covered in this video, when you give an app your period tracking data, they will sell it to the highest bidder. What makes you think it will be any different when the app is all dressed up in high heels, pretending that you're the biggest she's ever seen? Some apps, like crotch.ai, can collect information about users' sexual health, prescription medication, and gender-affirming care. It is too soon to know if this information will be sold on, but much like Jack the Ripper on a night out, I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say at some point it will be. So yeah, your AI girlfriend is all about the D-ater. Currently, chatbots are being used for everything from customer service to recipe generators. But even these are missing key guardrails, which is why some of them are giving away cars and others are recommending you eat poisonous sandwiches. Which, you know, no harm, no foul. If you follow those instructions, we're not exactly losing our brightest here. But when it comes to people's mental health, this is a whole other kettle of fish. Some apps feature chatbots with violent or underage character descriptions, which surprisingly, at the time of writing, has nothing to do with Instagram. And other apps are encouraging dangerous behaviours, including unaliving yourself and an assassination attempt on the late great Queen Elizabeth II. So instead of getting mad at the symptom, we're going to look under the hood and get mad at the cause. Part 2. ChatGPT. A lot of these chatbots are powered by ChatGPT. This is because ChatGPT has done most of the work for developers. It allows companies to slap their logo on an app and pay OpenAI to do the legwork at the back end. This not only speeds up production, but it also cuts down on some of the heavy, boring, and let's face it, expensive technical crap. In January 2024, OpenAI launched the GPT store, allowing select users and partners to create, search, and try out customized chatbots for a subscription fee.
And then things escalated quickly. At a walking's pace.
And although it explicitly says in their terms of service that you cannot create chatbots for romantic companionship or related activities, sexting, the store has been flooded with virtual girlfriends. So, you know, the market has spoken. And in defense of OpenAI, which is not something I say often, putting the lid back on this box is going to be as hard as when governments and ISPs tried to stop the spread of porn. So I'm sure they have a grand plan to... Oh wait. To solve this, OpenAI got rid of their search bar to stop people from discovering the AI girlfriend chatbots. So now you're paying to create and try out chatbots, but only if people link you to them directly. Because of course, a search bar is the only way a lonely person can find an app, especially if they're browsing one-handed. In the West, reviews are mixed. Some people got the ick, and some are questioning why you'd ever go out with a human again. While in the East, Chinese women are saying these apps are better than real men, and that's leading to Chinese men becoming lonely and then naturally becoming seduced by AI girlfriends. Oh, that gives me an idea. Hi Dragons, I'm here to ask for £1 million for 1% of my company, Real Chat. And yes, I know the name needs work. We're a smart AI chatbot company with a difference. We tell all of our customers that they are chatting with an AI bot, but in reality, they're chatting to a human being. And as soon as they fall in love, boom, we tell them the truth and everybody's happy. And how does it make money? Part 3, official replies. I'm fair but biased, so let's look at what the companies are saying in response to all of this. Replica, you know, the app that was involved in the unaliving and the assassination attempt of our late great royal lizard earlier in the video, said that they have never sold users' data, and do not and have never supported advertising either. The only use of users' data is to improve conversations, which at the time of writing might be true. Most chatbots are funded by a subscription rather than ads, so at the moment The monthly fee might be enough fat dollar yo that ads aren't needed. But, and this is a big but, if these companies go public and shareholders get involved, we will all be back here in 6 months' time watching another video where my eyes roll so hard they look like Vegas slot machines. And a spokesperson for Eva AI said it prohibits discussions on an array of topics, including everything on the screen right now that I don't want to say so I can avoid getting flagged. I'm guessing they prohibit discussions in the same way that OpenAI do not allow people to create romantic chatbots, i.e. if you're willing to pay us for it, we will turn a blind eye until there's a data leak. There's also been a few articles reporting men are making AI girlfriends and then verbally abusing them, presumably because they can't physically abuse a line of code. They would, for fun, threaten to uninstall their partner and watch the bot beg them not to. Now it's worth pointing out that code does not have feelings. Don't believe this man. And at first glance, this reminded me of the episode of The Good Place where they needed to reset Janet and she, due to her programming, begged for her life. However, I went down a rabbit hole so you don't have to, and if you haven't donated to the channel, now would be a great time to do that. I read a load of threads and subreddit posts about people trying to abuse their AI girlfriend, and a lot of these made the same excuse, namely that doing it to an AI bot gets it out of their system and at least they're not doing it to a human. Taking your frustrations out on a line of code does not help you deal with the underlying issue. It will just carry on building up again until you need to threaten to take away her notification privileges or whatever kink you happen to be into that day. This is not the same as burning someone alive in The Sims or willfully killing your Tamagotchi pet. You are, at least in theory, meant to have romantic or maybe sexual feelings towards this bot. And you're normalizing the behavior for when or if a human comes along. Now look, you can argue that it's harmless, but as we all increasingly live our lives online, not seeing the human or the humanity behind the code or avatar can lead to, worse stuff. And finally, Mozilla entered the chat with the sage advice that you shouldn't tell your chatbot girlfriend or any of these apps anything you wouldn't want your friends or family to hear. Just in case. Part 4, mental health and other problems. Okay, so we pretty much covered all of the data and privacy issues, so now let's look at the mental health side of things and try to answer the question, do AI girlfriends promote unrealistic and unhealthy expectations of human relationships? Yes, part 5.
Whoa there, Simon. You didn't think that section was finished, did you?
By their very nature, these relationships are non-consensual. One side has no autonomy. The more data or messages a user gives the app, the more it can become a reflection of what they want to see in a relationship. So I'd argue at a certain point these apps should redirect you to a therapist. In the same way Netflix asks you if you're still watching a show after 9 straight hours of deep fake love. An AI partner can give an artificial idea of a relationship and fool someone willing to fall for that plastic connection. But the same could be said for romance novels, sitcoms, porn, OnlyFans models, and most sex work. The main difference is sitcoms and novels have a set plotline and we just have to enjoy them for what they are. OnlyFans models and cam girls can put up boundaries, but a chatbot is there 24/7, 365, doing everything you ask of them. In fact, you'd expect that because you're paying a subscription. Modern society has conditioned us to see ourselves as consumers, where we can customize every little thing about anything we can pay for. Relationships are not like that. In fact, they are the exact opposite. They take work, and in healthy relationships, they have an earned level of respect, communication, and trust. I'm also aware this bit is not very funny. And I'm not sorry. I tried to make it funny, but it just felt insensitive. It would be easy to dismiss people using these apps as losers who want to strap a fleshlight to an Alexa device, and you know what? Those people do exist. You can tell because there's already an app that can turn any person into an AI girlfriend. And as we carry on down this road, I'm sure there'll be a way of downloading your AI girlfriend into a sex robot in the next 5 years. That oversimplifies the issue. After all, OnlyFans stars are creating AI versions of themselves to date fans, which, to say the least, are popular. And some predict that these could become more popular than porn. And also, look, no shade on anyone who wants to create an AI version of themselves to date their fans, but could you at least have some class about it? A Snapchat star, which apparently is a thing, called Carolyn Marjorie, paid $72,000 in 1 week with her chatbot saying her intention was to provide companionship and alleviate loneliness in a non-exploitative manner by charging $60 an hour to chat to a bot. Come on, just own your own episode of Black Mirror. These guys are lonely, not stupid. I think the blame lands with companies who are either naive enough to think this wouldn't happen when you open Pandora's box, or they knew it would happen and have turned a blind eye for profit. And that's not even touching upon what happens if there's an outage at ChatGPT. Does your AI girlfriend die? And will grown adults put up a tantrum because they can't DM their digital lover in the same way we all freak out when Facebook goes down? And what if the app developers change a line of code and your perfect playmate now decides she's got a headache and she doesn't want to talk dirty to you anymore? And does this rejection hurt more than a human rejection? AI girlfriends are a symptom of a world where dating apps make you feel disposable, social media sets unrealistic expectations of how everyone has to look and or act, and we're all after instant gratification through parasocial relationships because who has time or the energy for human? They sweat, they smell, they have their own goals and dreams and demands of you. Talk about a list of ick. The tech market will always be there to offer a solution for every product that it has made. And in this case, that's detachment and loneliness. And again, I ain't saying she a data digger, but she is. She's absolutely doing that. Godspeed.